Okay, so I'm going to be working on the calamari recipe. The calamari is on page 47. And I just wanted you guys to see the list of ingredients. I do have my beautiful oyster mushroom. I took out the name of the company just in case, but it's fresh oyster mushrooms. This is how they look. Aren't they just so beautiful? We're going to work this into little strings. So we're going to, one at a time, we're going to make them smaller. We're going to stream them out. I'll show you how to do that. We have the seaweed. I ground this on and I put it in here. So this is my seaweed. I have my seasoning, my breadcrumbs, gluten-free, dairy-free. They're basically vegan. You can see the ingredients in the back. I'm going to use my seasoning, but you can also use the all-base seasoning if you want, but I prefer mine. You can also use the nutritional yeast, but I'm not going to use that. My flour, my gluten-free flour, water, and the oil and the sauce. I'll show you that later because I'm going to use my restaurant fryer, so I don't need to put it out. It's actually an aromatic, semi-aromatic fryer. So I'm going to concentrate on showing you these steps, and then the sauce is already in the fridge, which is the tartar sauce that we already worked on in the previous video. So I'm just going to show you that part and take it from there. Okay, so I'm going to stream this in little pieces. And you're going to do that for all of them. You see how it becomes, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's one piece become many pieces. You'll use all of it, so don't be afraid to break them down. Just try not to break them down square or rectangular. Just go with the strings from the top of the flour to the bottom, top to the bottom. You can also use a scissor if you want. You don't have to. This is the longest part because you do have to do a good job at breaking them down, and each pound takes like, I don't know, I would say 5 minutes. If they do have a lot of water, like you can see a lot of water, you can even squeeze it. You see that? You can squeeze it out, but you don't have to. When you're frying it, it's just going to take you a little longer, but obviously you don't want your oyster mushroom to be wet when you buy them or when you use them. But if they do have a lot of water because you left them out a little too long outside of the fridge, or the fridge was too cold or whatever, you can squeeze them, meaning, you see that? You can squeeze it out. Sometimes it's a little hard depending if they're very wet. I don't know, I just got this yesterday, so I'm not sure. When is it? They packaged, when did they package this? It says sell by January 30, 2021, but I don't see when they package. But I always try to get the ones that I see that are fresher, because sometimes they're not too fresh when you get them. So we're just gonna, one at a time, use this time to meditate, maybe do some moves, dance, baby. I don't know, you guys. I've been trying to do these videos for a long time, but it's just so time consuming because you have to go step by step and assume that most of you don't know, but you probably know. So I just gotta figure out how to move on faster so I can do more videos. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I don't even know if this is helping. Like the other videos that I've done, I don't even know if they're helping anyone. So do let me know. I already have requests for another book, but you know, I don't know if it's making the difference that I wanted to make with it, to be honest. You know, it's one of those days where I'm questioning a lot of things, and I'm obviously staying very positive, but you know, it's a new year. I have to come up with new goals, new intentions, and I'm just evaluating my life in general. So I'll show you in a second how much we done. This is when we sell it in the restaurant. This is one portion. I'm not even making this up. Like, they become smaller when you fry them, obviously. So you know, a lot of people are like, oh my god, this is so expensive, but it's so good. So it's the #1 bestseller appetizer, but it's right now it's $12 per bowl for the appetizer portion. And a lot of people don't make any comments like that, but some people do, you know. And then you just like, you know, this is expensive. Like, this is not cheap at all. And then this is only the price of the $5.17. I don't know if you guys can see that. $5.17 for this portion. And then you have to get the flour. The nori sticks are expensive, everything, and the payroll. So it's a lot of people don't understand how expensive it can be to run a big restaurant, because you know, people think, oh, it's just vegetable, it should be cheap. But you know, if you want to cook with quality ingredients, it's not that cheap. And as much as I would love to say it is, because we need more people eating vegan, you can do it cheaper at home, but doesn't mean that when you're going to go out it's going to be cheap. Because you know, these things you have to, it's not like me, you get the meat and you season and that's it. No, this you actually have to play around with. This is one portion. This is one portion, you guys. You see? One portion right here. When you fry it, it becomes smaller. So now I'm going to take you can, you know, this has a lot of water. Squeeze it out a little bit without breaking them. And now we're gonna make our flour. The less water you have when you cook, when you season them, the better. Okay, now I'm gonna take my flour. I'm not gonna measure everything because I already know my portions, but you know, you have to follow the instructions if you have to. I have 1 cup here. This is half a cup. So make sure. This is half a cup, so I'm gonna put, I don't need that much, but I always like to have extra. I'm not gonna use those. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of the nori seeds. I'm gonna definitely season my flour. I'm going to get my water. I'm gonna get my water. And I'm just going to probably add a little bit. I'm gonna taste the flour before I use it. But you know, when you're using this, you just with a spoon. I have gloves, so I'm doing this. You want it to be like this. You don't want to be thick. If it's thick, it's going to take you longer to maneuver. Take a little taste. Need a little more seasoning. I'm going to add more of the nori seeds. And I'm going to mix it again. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to work it into it. So basically you have 3/4 of a cup. I use 3/4 of a cup, but you can use less. I like my nicely flour. And I massage it. You like how I said that? Massage. Oh my God, I'm so Spanglish. Once you have this, you can add more nori seeds if you like. Like I said, the longest part is making sure that if you have too much, if you feel that they're too wet, you can add some flour, but I'm not gonna do that because I like mine like this. And then you're gonna take this, when you put it in the fryer, make sure that you do this to separate them. Fry it for probably 3 minutes, depending. It should be like 375 for like 2 to 3 minutes. If you have too much water, you're gonna have to add more flour, but that's okay. That means you have more, because this is a lot of you know, people don't realize how much oyster seeds they're eating when we give them when we serve the calamari, the vegan calamari, but it's really a lot because it's a full portion, almost a pound that they're getting. It just becomes really light when you fry it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so I'm going to take my gloves off. Give you this look. This is 1 serving, 1 full. Oh shoot, look at all the water from the calamari that I squeezed out and I dropped it. That's why my towels are always so black, because I clean, and next thing you know, I do something stupid like that. Anyways, we're almost done. If you want the breadcrumbs, you add it. So basically you will sprinkle, move it again, and move it to get at like that breadcrumby texture. So you will, I took my gloves thinking I was done, but I forgot to show you the breadcrumbs. And that's it, you guys. Then you fry it. So now I'm gonna put it here, and you can see that you have to like open it up. Super hot, but it looks just like calamari. Woo! So hot, and my hands are so sensitive.